Not too long ago from this video's production, I made a video talking about the October 2002 list and the underexplored Magic format. I suppose you could call it spell format for spell ruler, however it's named for a more historically accurate reasoning. One thing I regret from that video was actually two things. One, I skipped mentioning that Tournament Pack 2 would have been legal, which for the important cards would be in the singular sense, in Morphing Jar, a monster that replenishes both players' hands upon its flip summon. It's a high-risk, high-reward card that soft counters the high amount of hand hate in the format and most certainly impacts the meta. Plus, Tournament Pack 1 was released too, so Mechanical Chaser would be the primary beater. Now, you could argue the use of hard-to-obtain TP Ultra Rares in historic formats. Each case of questionable cards in formats has their own arguments, such as Mechanical Chaser and Critter, or Exarion Universe and GOAT, or Crush Card Virus in 2007 formats. In the case of TB2, it was released the same day as the October list, which is as close to the format as you can get. In addition, longtime Yu-Gi-Tuber mcole40 is one of the few people to discuss the list, and while it was a few years ago, he did include TB2, so I can't argue with him. At the very least, it makes the format more interesting. My second regret would be my deck lists. I am my own biggest critic, and those deck lists could have been better and a bit more reflective on the meta scene, which given historical context from websites and magazines are kinda shit. And again, in an underexplored format, there's only so much to go off of until more people play more of it. That said, it's evident what's still meta, trash, and jank. Like, Toons is not meta nor rogue in the slightest. While on the flip side, Mahavilo is definitely a contender for a viable deck. Could it be Rogue, Tier 2, or Tier 1? Time will ultimately find out. Same goes for the potency of Relinquished and the ability of rituals to coexist with the Unholy Trinity, or 3 Sacred Treasures if you're an OCG duelist. Decks in the format are intriguing to say the least. After all, your spell lineup mostly consists of the limited list, and traps are usually kept to a minimum due to all the back row hate. 2 heavy, 3 MSTs, and 3 giant true nades are great deterrents. Painful Choice alone can send power spells to the grave to be recurred by Faith, and Mystic Tomato can get you out searchers to get pretty much whatever you need. Even still, I refuse to think this is a streamlined format. That entire preamble said, these are decks I think belong on the island of relevancy. Speaking of Mahavilo, having a beatdown deck that can put out monsters stronger than normal beaters thanks to cards like Acts of Despair, Malevolent Nuzzler, and Rush Recklessly make for a high impact strategy. Even Black Pendant gives Vilo a solid boost with potential burn. Relinquished, if kept to a minimum engine, can surprise opponents by stealing monsters and even counters flips in a way. Going back to mcole40, he created a burn deck that can double as a stall mill deck. Both strategies are viable thanks to all new cards Magic Ruler provided, like Toll, Chain Energy, Giant Germ, and Messenger of Peace. Hell, you could even make a clown control deck from this ideology too. More normalized decks can include hand control, which fully emphasizes the Unholy Trinity, and the options given to you previously like White Magical Hat and Robin Goblin. Equally, Tomato Control uses the Floater Engine to keep a constant stream of resources flowing. Finally, a tried and true aggro deck still has viability. This one I call Tournament Aggro, or TP Aggro for short, using Tournament Pack cards because I think it's fun. There could be other decks and ratios changed, like Morphing Jar amounts, the trap lineup, and other sorts of tech options. Banisher of the Light plus Gravekeeper's Servant locks your opponent out of attacking. Perhaps there is something to this. Maybe there is even something to Crab Turtle and its high attack. The new field spells give great attribute boosts as well. Magic format is certainly far from solved and is a goldmine for testing and discovery. That's why I wanted to make this video to get more information out there and push forward Magic format into the light, because there are varieties of old school formats that are caked in dust. Definitely check out my Discord linked in the description and share some decks or insights on the Magic format channel. See you there!